So it's time to make some space here for the batteries. So these fixtures here need to be removed. This little bugger needs to just be banged in a bit, I think. Should be fine, or even sawed off maybe. I don't know if I need to remove these ribs here. Might be that it's too wide, or it's too thin for the battery if they are left. But I'll have a look at that and see. Everything is a tripod if you're smart enough, I guess. It is not moving. I wonder if I want to bend these guys. See if they... Okay. That is one way to do it, I guess. So I just measured and I need to remove these ribs on the side here. Wrong direction. You should not be doing this that I'm doing right now, because you will ruin the heads of the screws and then you'll end up like I probably inevitably will here, without a way to get the screws out.
Yeah, so today we will measure cable lengths we need. I've done that a couple of times now. The previous owner came by and said that if there are a lot of people in the cockpit, the draining might go backwards, so there might come water up through the draining. So basically what that meant to me was we probably don't want to put the batteries in the back. We probably want to put them in the front to get some more weight forward, to kind of balance the boat better, which means that we need to remeasure for the cables. So we'll do that now. The previous plan was to put the batteries down here on top of the engine mount, but since we got this warning about the drainage, which you have right by your feet, Mr. Cameraman, since we got that warning, I'm thinking we will move the batteries to the front. And that in itself will mean that we have to kind of lift the bed a bit, which I think is fine. You don't need that much headroom, so you're just going to lie down there anyway. Instead of measuring, putting a cable down here and into here, we now need to put a cable from there all the way to here probably. Obviously the engine or the motor will be back here, but we will have the motor controller here, I think. So we will have 3 cables coming that way, and then we have this. This is the charger inverter, so that will hang here. And the batteries you can see the batteries below you there. Those guys will then be in the forepeak behind you, and then we will pull the got a good look. So then we'll take the cables through behind this
what's it called? This
Hatchet.
hatch.
Not a hatchet.
Not the hatchet, no. So you can see I've already actually put one sensor through there, but we'll put some more cables through there, and then we will have the. I think we will have. My thought initially was to have it here, but we'll have the connections for everything here, basically. So all the loads will go into. No, sorry. Batteries will go into that one. There's a shunt there, and then all the loads will go into the next one, which I have magically here. So yeah, all the loads, meaning the DC-DC, the inverter and charger, and the motor controller, and also the DC-DC converter from 48 to 12 volts will go into this one. And they will be placed like this. And you can connect them to each other. So we need to measure how long cable we need from that one, the last one, to the batteries, which will be in the 4-peak. And then from this one to this one, that will be here, and to the motor control, that will be here. Those will be the same dimension of cable, more or less. Probably the motor controller will have, I already have some cables for that, so it will be those. And then we need some smaller dimension cables for the 48 volt chargers, which you have like the solar chargers. But those do not need as much as big cables because they are lower power. So we'll focus our measuring on these guys, and then we'll just buy a couple of meters of the smaller ones, because we'll probably need that anyway. Yes. So let's measure to this wall, and then we'll measure the other side of the wall, I guess. So this distance is about, I'll say 130 to the connector furthest away. So 130 plus whatever is on the other side of this wall / table. Okay, and the width of this area is, yeah, say 60 then. So what did we have on the other? 130, 60, 190, let's say 2 meters then. And then my plan is to put the batteries under here. So, oh, this might be, it might be tight with 2 batteries here. I'm gonna have to measure that as well. That might be an issue. Anyways, if we suppose that we will go all the way in here, we have another 120. So 3.5 meters, and we have some margins as well for that. And let's measure if we have any space for the batteries then. Yeah, so the batteries were, what did we say, 60 times 40, is it 60 by 42 by 25?
Yes.
So let's see how wide it is here. It's actually 40 here without going inside. If I go inside, it's 51, but it's variable depth here since the boat is a boat. And the deepest
Deepest is about 32. Yeah, 32. Shallow about 20. And if we were to make a parallel line to this, just see if we would knock into what did we say, 60?
Yeah.
60, so 60 is only in here actually. We do have an issue that there's a sensor here. I mounted a sensor here the other day, so we can't really use this 100% as is. But I wonder if we could. It's 60 in here from there. We could probably start with this battery. If we have one on this side and one on this side, we can start with a battery. Wonder how. Sorry, I'm thinking and talking at the same time. It makes really great YouTube videos doing that. How wide is it here? I wonder. It is. Oh, it's 60 wide here. I wonder if we can. If I lift this, I'm gonna get the money shot now. No, maybe not. I did not pee myself, I should say. We can't really sneak it under here. I mean, it's not going to fit under, for sure. Unless... what if we try to fit it lengthwise here, so we let it go in here past this? Is that stupid? Yeah, I thought so too.
No, it might make sense.
But what if we put them on in length through this wall instead? Depends on how much shallower it gets further in, I guess. But this length is, what do you know, it's 60.
So you could put one battery there probably.
Yes, I could. It's on the... I mean, you could put them side by side here. You can come maybe a little bit closer. You can see how you might be able to put them lengthwise side by side in this area. It is very, very tight though, I think. As if I do a measurement here. Yeah, it is not quite 60. It's 60 to here, which means that it doesn't quite fit. And we said they were 42 wide. So we need maybe to make a dent in this.
Couldn't you put some students on doing a project to make a custom-made battery that perfectly fits in there?
Yes, I could, but it will take a little bit more than a couple of days, which is the time limit we have, pretty much. But I mean, one thing would be to make like a U cut here, or just to cut out kind of the shape of the battery, just like a holder for it, here and here. So, and then you put them in parallel lengthwise here, and then you actually have some kind of support for it. You probably can do the same on this. You just cut out the shape for it, a U shape, and a U shape here, a U shape there, everywhere a U-shape. And then you can... I kind of believe in that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if the measurement, then you don't have to raise the bed.
I still have to raise
You
the
have to
bed
raise
because
it,
it's going to be... You're probably
What
going
was, what was the height if you show
What did we say? 25?
25? Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
you're going to raise the bed,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And if they're
and you're probably
if
going to
they're
need
next
to start like here, so it's 25, it's up here.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that's, I mean, it's okay, we can live with that. The only thing is that we need to make some woodwork. Yeah, so just put like some boards, plywood boards or something. We just need to make those in the right size, and then we can just put the mattresses on top of that. So I think that's doable. I mean, it is, of course it's doable. We probably want to make a construction that goes a little bit above the battery, so we're not putting stress right on the batteries, and also to get just a little bit of air flow, maybe. We're probably going to have a bit of airflow underneath them as well. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I already already commissioned my brother for this job, or at least prepared him a bit. I think that's where we're gonna go. So we got the measurements. We have a plan, and as always with plans, we are ready to change it. I am, at least. So I think we have what we need for now. My plan now is to take these batteries and put them in the front here. You can see I removed a bit of the shelf that was there, the stopper for the shelf, so I will remove the planks on the sides as well, and then make a longer shelf there to put both the batteries up there. And it's actually a match made in heaven, in the sense that there's only like a centimeter left height-wise to put them in there. So I guess we're building a shelf. I'm gonna get sawdust in my face, am I not? Glasses! Let's get some glasses. Let's do this. We're gonna lose a bit of the shelf, but I'm gonna feel a little bit better, I think. Am I? And we should have since long removed these freaking mattresses.
This is a shelf for the batteries I have just built. So it's quite simple, and it's not perfectly aligned either. You can see there's a little bit of a space here. There's a little bit of space here. I'm going to argue that's for air throughput, so we can have some ventilation for the batteries. But really, it was just me measuring poorly. So the batteries will sit on this shelf, hopefully quite stably. It will be tight to the roof, but they should be in there. On the bottom you can see, I can't see, yeah, underneath I put 3 pretty thick boards. Not super happy with like fitting them in. I really want them to push against the hull unison, like nice and evenly. But as it is right now, you can see there's a bit of air. So my plan now is to push in some filling epoxy there just to even out the pressure and make it even stronger there, and probably stabilize the whole thing a bit.
Yes, it is cold. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's been below 0 now for a couple of days, and I realized that batteries, which I have in this boat, they are not happy when it's -degrees, not lithium batteries. So I borrowed something from my dad to keep some warmth going here. So this little bugger we're going to install today, and just to keep it at least above freezing. I mean, ideal temperature for batteries, lithium-ion batteries, are basically the same as for humans, so they should be around 20. But it's more a matter of survival here for the batteries. So yeah, let's go see so they haven't died or cracked or something.
So looking in here, it seems like nothing super negative has happened, at least. Now it's nice to have a bit of a tummy. Okay. There we go. And you go in. The nice thing is, we don't need to put it with any force here, really. We just wanted to keep it up. It can hang. It's fine. Because this is not something we'll bring on our journey. Not a chance. There we go. It is hanging in place. It's not coming loose. That's the only thing we care about, really. Christopher from the future here. The batteries are mounted on the shelf, and the power is connected. The shelf is not quite as long as the batteries. You can also see here that is a frost guard, and the connections here, parallel connection between them. They both have their poles pointing outwards so that they can be put together like this, because the roof is rounded, which means that in the very ends here, actually the batteries will go into the roof. And then the cables go here, and the cables are double 70 square millimeters actually, because yeah, the cables had to be a bit longer than I anticipated at first, which means that they needed to be a bit more, a bit larger. This will be a bit of a closure on the previous video as well, where you will see the kind of the finished product in that it's connected and working. Maybe not the finished product in like good cable management, but well, it's at least something. So you have all the batteries connected here, or both the batteries connected here, and this, the Lynx connector here, and then there's the shunt in the middle, and then there's the connection here with all the loads. So you have on the very left side here, you have the inverter charger, and then the next not so big but still big cables, that's the motor controller. And then you have the smaller colored cables with the red and black. Those are solar charger cable, and also the cable to the DC-DC converter, which is here. That's where we have that. And there you have also the connection, or the bus bars for 12 volt. So all things connected to that, those two metal bars are 12 volts. So mostly the navigation electronics and stuff like that. So that's the electrical stuff. And then you also see that there's a little bit of a networking cable going there. And that's going into our Cerberus here. So the gray one is one type of network where you have to have a terminator, which the blue one is. You see the blue little connector there. And the white one is the one that we showed in the previous video, where it's connected to the inverter charger. So there you go.